Hi guys, welcome to another Young Shrewsbury cook along. Hope you enjoyed your pizzas last week. Saw some awesome toppings going on there. The one that sort of stands out to me at the moment is our the Christmas dinner toppings, which was just incredible. With who'd have thought of putting pigs in blankets on a pizza, eh? Amazing. Really, really impressed. This week we're going to be making fried rice. Okay, so the beautiful thing about fried rice is that you guys can put in pretty much whatever you like. There's not too much in the way of kind of rules in this. I'm going to cook it the way I like it. You know, some of you will have had the ingredients delivered. You've got similar ingredients to what I'm going to be using today. And if you're just joining from elsewhere, then you can literally use whatever you like. But the ingredients list is in the description. I'm going to be using. It's a good way of getting lots of vegetables into using fried rice, and it still tastes good, you know. So I'm going to be using peppers. I've got mushrooms. I've got baby corn. I've got carrot. I've got some peas. We're going to throw an egg in there, some spring onions, we've got some sesame seeds to flavour it, and then I've also got some prawns and some smoked mackerel. I haven't put smoked mackerel in the deliveries because I imagine a lot of you wouldn't like it, but the prawns, absolutely banging and almost essential in a fried rice if you ask me. And then we've got a few other little goodies to flavour things, so we've got toasted sesame oil and some soy sauce as well. Alright, so I'm going to get started. So similarly to when you're making a stir fry the other week, the most important thing about this is to get everything prepped at the beginning, okay? Because it's going to cook really quickly. So if you get all your chopping done, everything ready to go, you can things just go in one after another, as you'll see. So we'll go through the chopping then. So I'm going to start with the basis of the flavour, which is going to be coming from our garlic. So you're going to take a couple of cloves of garlic. I should have really separated these before I started. It's going to be embarrassing, I can't do it now. I'll just bust that open. Right, here we go. So a couple of cloves of garlic. So you probably remember from the last few weeks about how to do this. So put it on the board, take your knife on its side, and then just pop, pop, okay? And it'll fall out the skin. Really, really easy. So one of those, two of those, three of those, and then we do what we call the seesaw method, which I've shown you a number of times now, but I'll show you again. So knife on its on the tip on the board, and then you're just going to go backwards and forwards with your hand on the top. So because your hand, one hand's on the handle, the other hand's on the top. You can't chop your own fingers. Just go backwards and forwards, and you scrape it all back together and go again. Okay, really, really easy. So that's garlic chopped. Going to go for some ginger. Now you can peel it if you want. Today though, I'm just going to use a grater. And the skin is perfectly okay to eat. It's just quite hot, and I like a bit of heat in my fried rice. So I'm just going to leave the skin on, and literally going to get a grater. You could use a cheese grater. I've got a handheld one. I'm just going to grate some ginger, probably about a thumb's worth. So if you put your thumb next to the ginger, you know roughly how much of that you're going to need. So some ginger there. Excellent. I'm putting these all in a pile together because they're going to go in the pan first to flavour everything else. Okay, I've got a massive chilli here. I don't want too much heat because I've already got the heat from the ginger skin. So I'm going to use half of this. Okay, so I'm going to chop that in half, and then just probably going to leave this in little rings because it's quite nice and looks good to have little rings of chilli. So I'm just slicing it straight across, not into tiny little pieces. Okay, so slice your chilli all the way down. Okay, that to one side. Now spring onions. Okay, so you've got the white end there with the roots, and then you've got the green end. So you've got two different uses. So the first half, the white bit, if we just put them all together and just take off the roots, because you don't really want to be eating the roots. Okay, now from the white bit, I'm just going to chop these into sort of centimetre long pieces up until about halfway up the spring onion when we start to hit the leaf bit. Okay, so put those to one side because they are going to take longer to cook than the green bits. And the green, if sliced really thinly, is a great thing to garnish your rice with at the end and add a little bit of fresh onion hit to. So I'm going to keep those the other end of the board to add later. Okay, so chop that up. That'll do. The last little bits are usually a bit rough, so just throw those away. You're going to keep that to one side, like so. Then we have some, you might have sweet corn, normal sweet corn, this is fine. I've got these baby corns. So because this is rice, I don't want big, when we did the stir fry, you have kind of big chunks of things, but with rice, you want to fit as much of everything on the one forkful as you can. So I'm just going to cut these into little discs today, because they're going to be much more of a bite-sized piece than a big, if I cut them long ways like I did when I put them in the last stir fry, then they're going to be like big chunks in the dish, and that's not really what we want. So I've got 4 of those to do. I'm going to put 2 together just to speed things up. Chop them up, okay, all the way down. Okay, so that's my baby corn. Mushrooms, these can just be sliced. If you want to go across as well, you can. But I'm quite happy with mushrooms just being sliced like that. Okay, you should really always bend your fingers in. Make sure you don't cut them. So mushrooms chopped, put those to one side. Going to take some red pepper, bit of colour and flavour. I'm going to take half of that pepper, just slice the corners off, and use the other half for something else. I'm going to slice it down into strips like that. So you've got these long sticks, and then across again. So again, we've got small kind of bite-sized pieces of pepper. That's those bits done. Okay. There's anything else? Oh yeah, there's a carrot here. And just like the baby corn, I'm just going to slice this carrot again into discs, quite thinly, because carrot takes a little while to cook. So if you cut it thinly, it'll cook much quicker. Okay. 1 carrot. Done. Frozen peas don't need anything doing, they just go in frozen. So we're prepped. That was really easy, yeah? Didn't take me long at all. Alright. Next thing then, I'm going to get the heat on. Here we are, the trusty old pan that I always complain about. Let's see how that goes today. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a little bit of just normal cooking oil. We've got this sesame oil as well. So we're going to put some of this in first, and then so about a tablespoon of that oil, and then also about a tablespoon of sesame as well. You just use sesame, it kind of burns, it's not really, you need to, it kind of cooks a lot of the flavour out as well. Give it a smell though, it smells incredible, and it's such a Chinese flavour, like really, really good little thing to have in the pantry, that for just making your stir fries just taste so much better. So it's always important to make sure your pan is mega hot. So this is coming up to temperature really quickly, I can actually see that oil jumping around, because these induction hobs are so hot, you know, it comes up to temp really quick. So just get plenty of oil in there, moving around, and we're going to just add in a bit at a time. Right, the ginger and the garlic first. You hear that sizzling? And the chilli. Now this might hurt your eyes a little bit. Just get that moving, then the garlic will start to burn pretty quick. So you literally just want about 10 seconds releasing those flavours from that, and then we're going to start to add in some of the other bits. So I've gone in with the spring onion, the first half of the spring onion. I'm going to put in the carrots as well, because the carrots take a while to cook. They've also got quite a bit of moisture content, which will stop everything else from burning as it comes out. So just get those moving. Looking good already. Get that moving real fast. Okay, a few more seconds of that, and then we're going to add a bit more. The good thing about adding it bit by bit is it means that the pan just never gets too cold. If you add everything at once, the pan is going to kind of lose a lot of heat because there's so much cold stuff hitting the surface. Okay, so I'm going in with that's the baby corn, slices of baby corn. Keeping those going. Okay. Alright, now in with the peppers and the mushrooms. Okay, now the mushrooms are going to soak up quite a lot of that oil, so it's important they go in last, because otherwise you can't cook everything else. Okay, so then we're just going to cook that around. Now if you start to see things sticking to the pan, just keep scraping away at them. There is going to be some liquid in a minute. First thing, it's going to be, it will help to deglaze the pan, as we say, is the frozen peas. So if you put those in, Now, this stage, they will release some juices. Also, prawns. Now, you've already given frozen prawns. If you haven't got frozen prawns, that's fine. These are actually cooked ones. If they're uncooked, then you want to throw them in a little bit earlier. These ones are cooked, and you know if they're cooked because they're pink, okay? If you've got white ones, they're uncooked. And they're just going to need a few minutes in the pan. You'll see them go pink as soon as they go in. But the prawns are going to go in. Okay, so we'll start working that all together. I'm also going to add in my smoked mackerel at this stage. I'm just going to break that into chunks because it will break down more as I stir it round. It's quite delicate. I realise a lot of you won't be using smoked mackerel though. You might want to use some bit of pre-cooked chicken or whatever. If you've got raw chicken, just fry the chicken off before you start and put it to one side. Excuse me, it's getting a little bit pokey in here. And then you can kind of always just pop it back in at the same sort of time as now, right? So you just cook your chicken off a few minutes before. Right, and now what I'm going to do is push everything to one side, make a free little bit of space. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more oil, just a tiny bit, and then we're going to crack an egg in there, and then you have to basically scramble the egg in the pan. So get it in, use your spoon, and just don't mix it into the rest of the thing until it's cooked. Okay, so just keep frying it on that corner with everything else the other end of the pan until you've got scrambled eggs. So when you've got like egg fried rice, this is how they do it. Right, so just keep scraping it off the bottom of the pan, don't let it burn. Don't let it stick. I'm not stirring anything else at the moment, just this egg. Okay, so the egg is coming together now. So you'll see, I don't know how much you can see from there, but got like scrambled egg. Okay, that now can be mixed in to everything else. Okay, that's frying off. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright, and then now finally, you've got, this is the best stuff, it's like 50p a pack for this microwave rice. Now you need to use cold, cooked rice for this. You can't cook rice and then use hot, steaming rice because it will end up with a big mushy mess. So these packs are absolutely perfect for making stir-fried rice, okay? So open that up, that's going to go in. Now you have to make sure you break it up because often it's all stuck together. So you see big lumps, just give them a little bit of a break up. You can use your hands or the back of the spoon. Okay, but I'm going to now mix all that rice in, making sure to scrape anything off the bottom which is still attached, because things are still cooking quite hot in there. Alrighty, okay, so that's cooking through. Now I'm going to add the soy sauce. So the soy sauce is basically our salt. We haven't added any salt to this at all. So you're going to give about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce with that rice. Okay. I'm going to just work that through, and that will also help to sort of break up any lumps of rice and make things sort of feel a little bit more fluid. Alright, we're nearly there. So easy. And it's so much cheaper than going to the Chinese. It's just still breaking up a few of these lumps, that's fine though. So you can come in, I'm going to have to turn this heat up a bit, it's gone a bit quiet. Right. So just keep, you see I'm constantly moving this, yeah? Constantly moving it, constantly getting the flow moving. Alright, that rice is looking good. Okay, I think my heat seems to have gone. Oh, we're still cooking? Let's go, take it up a notch. Alright, try and keep your pan hot. Sizzling again now. Okay, so now finally I'm just going to add in some sesame seeds, which is always good, and save a bit of these to sprinkle on the top as well. So stir some through because they'll actually give you flavour. But then when we serve it, I'll show you now. Just going to 10 more seconds maybe on this heat, and then that's done. Looking good, that. All right, I'm going to turn that off. Right, and then that's it. So then all we need to do is I'm going to serve up the rice in a nice bowl. Make sure you get a bit of everything in. Make sure those prawns go in. Make sure you get bits of chicken or fish or whatever you choose to put in. And get it all piled up. Alright, and then I'm just gonna, you've got your bowl of rice there. Now just gonna finish it with a sprinkle of sesame seeds. Okay, and then if you remember, we've got these little bits of green spring onion that we saved just for a bit of freshness. And there we have it. 10 minutes, beautiful special fried rice. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Again, give me some ideas for next week. We'll get on it. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. See, make sure people like and subscribe and all that stuff. Share it, and I'll see you next week.